Hey, what's up, my friends? It's Brian with BG Model Workshop, and we are, of course, in the Porsche Group Build that's being hosted by the podcast that we are a part of, the Scale Model Car Podcast. Of course, that's on Spotify. Please go check it out. We have a lot of fun doing the podcast, and hopefully, you'll have a lot of fun listening to the podcast. And on some platforms, you're actually able to watch us do the podcast. So that's even cooler, right? I want to say thank you to all of our subscribers, to those that have subscribed recently, and for those that have been sticking with us for the last several years. We're looking at I'm like 7 years now, so that's impressive. I mean, that's just awesome. So I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to you all, and to the guys who were able to make it to NNL East. I am so jealous. Just I was watching videos and talking to folks that were there. I'm like, oh, if only. But it's all good. We're gonna see about getting to one sometime in the near future. We have travel plans already for 2025. Anyway, I digress. We're about the Porsches today. So we decided to make this a group build that's hosted by the podcast because not only is Chuck Filner, the guy who actually initiated the Porsche Group Build, is part of the podcast, but so are, of course, me, who he asked to help run the group build last year, as well as Matt from the Lucas C channel. Helped out with the group build last year also because Matt actually hosts a Facebook page for Porsches and Porsche builds. And then our good friend Jason, who's part of the podcast, he wanted to be in on this also. So, of course, an all-inclusive deal. Let's just go ahead and make it the podcast sponsored group build. So there you go. Initially, we were talking about doing one kit each, and then Chuck dropped the bomb that he was doing not only one kit, but he's doing a separate second kit. And we were like, oh, okay, sure. And he was like, you guys should do a second kit also. So not only have we picked out this guy, this is from Wave. Now, I don't know much about Wave. I have to actually do a little bit more research on that. I've always meant to do that. I know they're still around now. I believe they actually had something to do with Meng, maybe. I'm not quite sure. MEG. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think there might be a connection there. If you know, please let me know. I would appreciate that. But yeah, this is a Wave kit, and we'll show you what's going on, the gubbins of that there in just a minute. But we also decided to select this guy, the 1988 911 Turbo. This is the quintessential Porsche to me. When somebody mentions the word Porsche, this is what I think of right here. So the race car kit is a little bit more of a little more involved. It's going to be full build. This guy here is more of a cotton candy bubblegum type of thing. So this is going to be the fun one. The other one's going to be the meat and potatoes. So this is the dessert. This one's going to be the main course right here. So okay, enough of talking. Let's show you what we're going to be working with. All right, cool. So let's take a look at this Wave Porsche 907/8. Love the box art on this. It's just very plain, very simple, gets the point across. Here we have the body. Now, what's really interesting about this is it's a Le Mans car, but it also looks sort of like something you'd see on the salt flats, right? Something like from the 1950s, late 1950s, early 1960s. Out there on the salt flats trying to do a record holder. But this is interesting. Look at this. We got little pins right in here. And then on the underside, those are kind of C-shaped there. So this professes to be an opening rear deck lid. So you're not just going to take that off and set it to the side. You're going to have it propped open. That's cool. Got some filler caps here for maybe this has two. I bet this has two fuel tanks in it. Or maybe one's for oil. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe two tanks. And then look at that. That's molded open there. And that is not molded open, but that actually has a screen mesh molded in there. Headlight buckets, and then just a teensy little bit of flash right there, and some sink mark saddling. Oh, there's a little bit of ridge here for the mold line all the way around. I can fix those. It's hard to see on camera with this lighting. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of a dimpling going on there. But let's see the back half. That's beautiful. This is a beautiful sway. This body line makes me think of the Nissan. What is that? The R390 GT1 car. Yeah, that profile reminds me of that. So some looks like scoops of some kind for maybe for the engine. But yeah, hardly any flash on this at all. Just those dimples up there, which it is what it is, right? So there's that, and then the chassis pan. So this is going to be, like we said, something that we build up from the floor, like the modern race car kits are today, which is cool. So here's the seat. There's actually a texture on the floor there, and this is obviously going to be like probably one of the fuel tanks right here, which, oh, I'm not driving this guy. Here's the punch out on the floor, so that's probably going to be for the engine access there, oil pan access, and I would assume that our exhaust pipes are going to dip through there. So that's kind of slick. This is very narrow kit. Makes me think of the Mach 5 kit from Polar Lights. Our tires do they have treading on there? They have a very light treading on there, if we can see that. And, oh, they're squishy. They don't seem sticky. The bag's not sticking to them. So that's good sign, because we got this from a guy who was having a storage facility sale. And those are always risky here in Arizona because storage facilities get mighty hot. And that starts to make the vinyl and other stuff break down. These all look like they're actually factory sealed bags. That's a good sign. And then, oh, I bet this is the bottom of the engine plate, and that will be where our exhaust pipes are going to come through there. It's interesting how this particular sprue is a different color shade than the body. Interesting. And it looks like it's got some winglets there, I guess you want to call them. I'm not quite sure. It's like a belt for the engine. Oh, I bet that goes in the front of the car. This space right in here, that's going to be the fish mouth right there. And some connecting type of material. Oh, maybe that would be cool if this piece right here is actually like a prop for the rear deck lid. That would be cool. Steering column, I would assume. A couple of itty bitty little wings there, and another that feels like it's a wing as well. Here's our transparent pieces. Now check this out. Look at this. This is actually molded open. So these vents are molded open. That is awesome. And this looks like it's in really good shape. Originally I thought this might be a sandwich bag, but no, judging by how this is all sealed down here and stuff, this is one of their factory cellophane bags. And I thought these were taillights, but I think these are actually the covers, the intake covers. They had like a screen mesh cover that goes over the top of these things. And the headlight covers actually have little rivets molded into them. So I can feel the rivet detail on there. And then our side glass, very, very small side glass. And then this is the cockpit rear window to block it off from the engine bay. And then this, so again, here's our third colored sprue. You know what? Let's oh, it's still sealed. I'll just leave this in the cellophane for right now. So we got full engine detail with transaxle. Got some seats tucked back there. Some bits for the interior. I want to see these wheels. I want to see what these wheels look like. Oh, those are pretty cool looking wheels. Got the central locking nut on there. That's cool. Nice looking steering wheel. There's our rear bulkhead that small window is going to go into. These would be the fuel tank covers that go on either side of the cockpit. Yeah, this is, oh, here's some cross bracing here. So it looks like we're going to be doing a little bit of building of the chassis perhaps. Here's our decal sheet. Now this is the part I'm concerned about here, because this feels like it might actually be stuck to several of the decals. Again, this was from a storage facility, so I'm not 100% sure how these guys are going to be. I will try taking them out of the bag and then putting them in the window and see if the sun can help bleach those out a little bit, but not too much. Just take some of the yellow out of them. And of course, if we try to take this out of the bag and they get destroyed, hopefully like IndyCals or somebody like that might have something I can work with, or STS. But let's see our instructions. Yeah, I like that photograph there. Bunch of stuff that we can't read, but this is going to be a fun build, guys. I'm really looking forward to this one. Out of the two kits that we're doing, this is the one I'm like really looking forward to. because I've had it for a while and I've always wanted the excuse to build it. Now Chuck is giving us that excuse. And hey, it even shows us how to do some ignition wiring there. I don't have anything in the kit for ignition wiring, but that's interesting that they show that there. And yeah, so, you know, basic stuff, nothing tricky, it looks like. The trickiest part will be probably just filling in the little dimples that happened on the front wings, and then a little bit of masking. Hopefully part fitment goes well. We'll have to test fit everything, make sure nothing's warped. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about this guy here. And one of these cars, they all do, as a matter of fact, have a yellow tinting on the box art for that rear engine cover transparent piece. So we'll have to see about that. I'll have to do some reading about this car and find out what that's all about. But yeah, there we go. There's the wave car. Oops. Everybody okay? We're okay. All right, on to the next one. And now for the cotton candy build. Let's see here. Instructions. Beautiful representation. I like the black and white artwork on there. That's nicely done. Good photograph. So molded in engine detail underneath. A lot of masking, but you can make that look pretty authentic. I've done it before. And let's see here. Oh yeah, this is just going to be it's going to be a fun build is what this is going to be. So it's going to be all about painting and masking for me on this guy, because 1980s cars had a lot of that blacked out chrome. Transparent pieces, we'll start off with that right there. Full side windows. It's kind of nice to see that the windows are actually done individually rather than one whole transparent bucket that we put in there. So hopefully masking this stuff off to paint the edging won't be so bad. Here's a full transparent piece for the rear, for the taillights. So we'll have to mask that and paint the areas that we need to on that. No problemo. Check this out. Single piece body. That's molded in a nice, beautiful silver color. And you know what? Let's open the crypt. There we go. There, we pulled the pin on that one, and we're not getting that back in again. There we go. So it's nice to see that there isn't there's a little blemish right there, probably from where it was injected, perhaps, I don't know. But there is kind of a blemish along the top. That's just where the two different halves of the mold have the plastic come together. This is where the plastic actually meets in the mold. So you see it all the way down the center. So there we go. That's what that is. It's almost like a birthmark, so to speak. So yeah, this is beautiful. Oh, there's a corresponding one on this side too. Beautiful. Love those fender flares. Look at that. That's a chunky boy. And then, of course, the whale tail's molded in place, which is completely fine, since there's nothing to look at underneath there. Yeah, that's cool. And then how are we looking? Are we looking, is that roof on there? Yep, roof looks good. So my buddy Joe sent us a good one. And then let's open up this bag too. See, good thing I'm not a surgeon, because when people come in to get their staples out, that's just what I would do. All right, what do we drop? Ah, Dervios. Ooh, oh ho ho. Well, hello. Those almost look like Kragers. That's kind of cool. Hey, those are beautiful. And then some chrome headlight buckets. Nice. Let's take a look at the chassis. Yep, molded in engine detail and transaxle. But that's nice and proud, so that won't be hard to mask off around and do some spraying on. Very simplified front end. Looks like we're just doing through axles. That's very interesting to see Tamiya doing that, something like that. I don't have many Tamiya kits that have that type of deal going on there. So yeah, okay, cool. Good looking seats. Let's turn this right around. Those are nice, good looking seats. Very 1980s looking steering wheel. Let's go down here. Oh, is it the dash? Let's take a, oh, the dash is very simplified looking, but hopefully there's a decal for that dash panel. And then here's the interior. It's a tub. And, oh, that's the exhaust system there. Rear end suspension, more exhaust parts. Looks like the detail on the doors are molded in pretty nicely, but again, it's going to be, you know, a black interior inside of a car. It's going to be hard to see. Here's our tires, and they are They are squishy and they are wide. Hear the metal clunking around there. There's our metal axle, and then we have the polycaps that they like to call those things. Yep, cool. All right, those are chunky looking axles too. And so I don't know if you guys do this or not. I like to do this when you're dealing with a model kit that has these axles like this. Once everything gets fitted and placed, and just during final assembly, I actually drop a little bit of super glue on the axle so that these guys aren't rollers, because I've had more model kits take a header off of a shelf, and I used to live in the earthquake country, so that's another thing. We got we got metal transfers for the mirrors, nice, and then decals for the front of the fender right there. So that's nice. That would be kind of a pain in the neck to mask off. And then looks like we got dash detail there, and then some script and some license plates or number cards or whatever they call them in Germany. And yeah, so this will be the fun one. The other one's going to be the little bit more serious one, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited to tackle both of these guys. So if you are part of the Porsche Group Build, please drop a video, tag Chuck, tag me, tag Jason, tag Matt. Also, there's a web page, a Facebook page for Porsches. It's hosted by Mr. Lucasy. And also, if you are not a content creator, go to this email address right down here at the bottom of the screen and post pictures to our podcast email, and we may talk about them on one of the subsequent podcasts during the duration of this build. All right, y'all, take it easy. We'll talk to you in the next one. We got a lot of stuff going on here, so we got to get back to that. And take it easy. How many times they say take it easy? It was like, take a shot every time he says take it easy.